George joins us now from the White House for a preview of President Bolsonaro's visit. George, what can we expect of the Brazilian leader's visit with President Trump tomorrow?
He arrives here at the White House promptly at noon, and between noon and 1:45, he will meet with President Trump. They will have a luncheon and talk about these issues that you just mentioned. Trade is foremost on the agenda. So too is the ongoing crisis in Brazil, in Venezuela. As you know, thousands of Venezuelans have sought refuge in neighboring Brazil as the crisis continues to unfold. President Bolsonaro took the unusual step weeks ago to side with the United States along with some 60 other nations, calling for the socialist dictator in Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, to step down. And so the president will use his meeting tomorrow to talk about ways they can continue to put the political as well as the economic squeeze on Maduro. They're going to be talking about closer relations between these two countries. By the way, the United States is a second largest trading partner with Brazil next to China. Clearly, this is an administration, compared to previous administrations, Mark, that wants closer ties with the United States, wants closer ties with Israel. So that is going to be on top of the agenda during their meeting tomorrow.
Bolsonaro is an admirer of the president, correct?
He actually is. In fact, commentators in Brazil like to call him the Trump of the tropics. Some call him the Brazilian Trump. He has this admiration for President Trump, partly because, like President Trump, President Bolsonaro is an outsider, a political outsider. He basically came from political obscurity and had a message of fighting widespread corruption, fighting the leftist agenda that has dominated Brazilian politics for a very, very long time, and he wanted to restore the sort of identity, especially the Christian identity of Brazil. He wanted to fight for the family, the institution of the family. He has said so many times that the leftist agenda has, in essence, attacked and launched an all-out assault on Brazil's family institution, and he has promised to roll back those efforts to fight against the leftist agenda. And so, yes, he is seen as sort of an admirer of Trump. He, like Trump, loves social media. He's a master, in fact, at social media. He avoids mainstream media, doing television interviews, and so he goes directly to his supporters by taking to Facebook, Twitter, as well as Instagram.
Was President Bolsonaro's victory a political earthquake for South America's largest nation, George?
It absolutely has been. I mean, this is the first time in Brazil's democratic era that you have a conservative leader. As I mentioned, Brazilian politics since the fall of the sort of military dictatorship in the early 80s, this is the first time that Brazil has had a non-leftist government, and it has clearly sent a political earthquake, not just in Brazil, but across South America and Latin America.
And quickly, what can you tell us about his faith?
He's a Catholic. He's married to Michelle, also Bolsonaro, who is an evangelical who attends a Baptist church. Let me also mention that tomorrow evening, CBN News has an exclusive interview just a few steps away from here at the Blair House. That is where foreign dignitaries and heads of state get a chance to come and stay. And we will have a one-on-one interview, which will then air on the CBN News channel. You can catch it right here on Wednesday.
Okay, all right. Our senior international correspondent, George Thomas, reporting from the White House. Thank you, George.
You're welcome.
Iran's president on Monday urged Iranians to put a curse on the U.S., Israel, and Saudi Arabia. President Hassan Rouhani's remarks were meant to deflect criticism of his administration's performance after President Trump last year pulled America out of the nuclear deal and reimposed sanctions on Tehran. Rouhani urged Iranians to put all your curses on those who created the current situation. He claimed the U.S. plan was to dominate the Iranian nation, but said it was not going to be possible. Rouhani first came to power in 2013, was reelected for a second term in 2017, promising to improve the economy and foster more open relations with the world. The expansive list of 2020 Democratic candidates grew a little bigger over the weekend, but it was a slip of the tongue from former Vice President Joe Biden that's fueling the fire of speculation. A slip that indicates he's getting ready to declare for the White House himself.
I have the most progressive record of anybody running for the anybody who would run.
Biden's friend, Delaware Democratic Senator Chris Coons, is also adding to the speculation.
Well, I'm very optimistic that Joe Biden will soon formally announce his campaign for the presidency.
But a long political career could mean more than a few stumbling blocks for Biden. He's going to have to answer questions about everything from his role in the Anita Hill testimony during the Clarence Thomas hearings to his voting record. And our team in D.C. will have more on the latest in Washington on tonight's Faith Nation, and you can catch that right here on the CBN News Channel. Coming up, a look at this year's annual Jerusalem Marathon. We're going to tell you about a special group of Christians who came this year to run for Zion.
CBN presents The I Wills of God, your path to overcoming fear and anxiety.
We're going to talk about some of the incredible promises God has made to His children.
In Pat Robertson's newest teaching, you'll discover the I wills of God. I will rescue him, protect him, answer him, be with him in trouble, deliver him, honor him, satisfy him with long life, show him my salvation, and see amazing stories of God's promises in action.
What I felt was loved and treasured.
God spared my life twice in 3 days.
The good Lord had given me a second chance.
Break free from stress and despair.
The Lord doesn't want you to live in fear, but to know the rewards given to those who love God.
Call 1-800-700-7000 or visit CBN.com. The I Wills of God, your path to overcoming fear and anxiety.
Hello, I'm Terry Newsom. Did you know there are more than 148 million orphans in the world today? 148 million. But it was 3 little girls that taught me about the plight of orphans. My husband and I spent nearly a month immersed in the daily activities of a Ukrainian orphanage as we waited to adopt 3 sisters. I saw firsthand the utter loneliness, the pain of rejection, and the overwhelming desire to be loved. That experience changed me forever. And out of it grew a ministry from my heart called Orphan's Promise. Today, we're helping orphans and vulnerable children in more than 50 countries worldwide. Thousands of children are now in safe homes. They're being educated, and they're learning life skills. I'm asking you to join with me and become family to these children. Will you call the number on your screen right now? Because every child deserves a chance to be happy.
Welcome back. Friday's Jerusalem Marathon marked its 9th year for the event. Runners come from all over the world to run through the streets of historical and modern Jerusalem. As Julie Stahl reports, this year a special group of Christians came to run for Zion.
The Run for Zion runners huddled to pray before the race.
Well, God morning. This is perfect running conditions. So as a runner, I don't care where I'm at on the planet. I'm already joyful. Just in faith and just that God has provided the perfect day to run. But my goodness, we are in the promised land.
We're bringing our first team of Run for Zion. This is the first time that anyone in the history of the Jerusalem Marathon has promoted this as a Christian experience.
Jonathan Feldstein is founder and president of Run for Zion.
And it's an Orthodox Jew. It's just so awesome and humbling for me to be able to provide that experience for people.
He says his organization gives Christians an opportunity to experience Israel beyond what tours offer.
This provides a different prism for people to be able to come and have a unique experience through running with touring on both sides. But we've also built up the opportunity to bless Israel, not just by being here, but by raising money for various nonprofits that we're supporting.
So it's a privilege to be able to move our feet to help the Jewish people.
Pastor Ray Hardy from Belmont, North Carolina, and Elizabeth Wong from Phoenix, Arizona, came to Run for Zion in the full marathon.
Run for Zion is an organization that is designed to help those people that are Jewish, Holocaust survivors, Mayor Paim, those people that are homeless, those people that are returning on Aliyah from Ethiopia, the Ethiopian Jews. And so we want to be part of helping to make those things happen.
I came here because it is the 70th anniversary of the modern state of Israel, the first anniversary of the American embassy's move to Jerusalem, and Jonathan is a personal friend. I really believe in the vision, have run for Zion and integrity and excellence that he walks in.
Dr. Pat Castle is founder and president of the largest pro-life running group in the world. He and his wife Angie came to run the half marathon.
All in Christ, more pro-life, yeah!
I wanted to be right here where Christ walked. I wanted to run in his footsteps.
This will be my 60th half marathon, and here we are in the Holy Land. So as the founder and the president of the largest pro-life team in the world, it is an absolute blessing to represent 10,617 teammates here.
Feldstein says he hopes next year to have as many as 500 Christians who will come to Run for Zion. Julie Stahl, CBN News, the Jerusalem Marathon, Jerusalem.
A great event there. Well, a reminder to check out our CBN News Daily Rundown podcast with Caitlin Burke. She gives a behind-the-scenes look at a key story in the news every day, and you can find it at cbnnews.com on the show tab. Just click on its title to listen and subscribe. Still ahead, CBN Studio 5 sits down with recording artist Brian Courtney Wilson. He tells us his story as he's been nominated for 3 Grammys.
Parents, the Superbook Bible app is a great way to get your child reading the Bible because in today's busy world, we can use some help. The free Superbook Bible app has fun stuff your kids will love. They'll have a blast learning the Bible, playing great games, watching cool videos, discovering heroes in the Bible. They'll have fun while they learn God's Word. The Superbook Kids Bible app, available now.
Life. It's meant to be lived fully. Jesus said it. I came to give you life. Life to the fullest. Life in your family. Life in your finances. Life in your body, mind, and spirit. Life in your everyday. At CBN.com, we're taking what Jesus said seriously. We're here to help you discover life. Life. Live it fully. CBN.com.
Discover the I wills of God. I will rescue him, protect him, answer him, be with him in trouble, deliver him, honor him, satisfy him with long life, show him my salvation.
What I felt was loved and treasured.
God spared my life twice in 3 days.
The good Lord had given me a second chance.
Call 1-800-700-7000 or visit CBN.com. The I wills of God, the latest teaching from Pat Robertson.
Recording artist Brian Courtney Wilson may need to make room on his trophy shelf. He's up for a few honors at this year's Stellar Gospel Music Awards at the end of this month. And the Recording Academy has nominated the Houston-based singer for 3 Grammy Awards. Wilson recently sat down with Studio 5's Ephraim Graham to talk about his life, his music, and his confidence.
Eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard, all you have planned for me, and nothing can separate me from your love when there's so much more still worth fighting for.
From just love to so proud to worth fighting for, and now a great work.
He that has begun a greater work in you.
Brian Courtney Wilson has recorded 4 consecutive chart-topping albums and earned a few Grammy nominations.
It's the 3rd time we've been nominated, and nervous is not the word.
Before walking the red carpet, Brian sits down with Studio 5.
I'll begin. So how does it feel not to be a pharmaceutical salesman and to be a Grammy-nominated recording artist?
It's a blessing. It's a blessing. It's funny, I was at a dinner last night, and I met this lady, and I was just kind of recounting my story, and I realized, first of all, I don't think about it a whole lot. I just kind of, you go sing and you fulfill your assignment. But as I was recounting it to her, listening to just the hand of God in it, how His grace has connected the dots for me, man, it's mind-blowing. And so I'm here this weekend celebrating these Grammy nominations, man, just on cloud 9, just grateful.
The project is a great work.
A great work, yes.
The album is nominated as well as the single.
Song, yeah, title track.
My favorite line in the song is the line where you talk about God's gonna blow your mind with the seed that He's planted inside of you to bless the world as it blooms.
Thank you.
And in due time, God will blow your mind with what He planted inside of you to bless the world as it blooms.
Sometimes I wish people could have been there, like when I was in the studio kind of writing it, and how it was hitting me. Because it hits you, and you know it's for you. You know that's God. You just don't know if it's for everybody. You know what I mean? And so for you to say that, it means a great deal to me, because it meant so much to me in the moment, but you're just not sure if anybody else is going to get it.
And to be nominated for a Grammy, when sitting and working in a studio writing music, are you thinking about Grammys?
Well, with Aaron Lindsay, you are, because he's won so many. That's all off the top. So you are thinking about that. But more than anything, I'm thinking, please, Lord, let this be useful. Let this be something that resonates in a way that's worth the investment that we're making, not just in time and talent, but the money, So that's what I'm really thinking about. So the Grammy, as much as you want to be a part of that mix, is kind of a bonus.
4th album now for you. 4th album as a solo artist.
Yeah, it took.
How would you say you've changed in those 4 projects?
I started out hoping that people would accept what I was doing. Now I know I have something of value to carry, and I just got to get it to the right people.
Nice. So more confident now than you were?
Absolutely, more confident. And I'm more confident in the grace that I've been afforded to do this. Because I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but God's grace pays the price for us to run the race that He's called us to. And so that's what I'm confident in. And I know it's worth telling the story because He's afforded all of us that same grace. That's what started on the cross. This grace He's afforded us to do what we've been called to do. For you to rock this green and orange, like you do. I mean, you killing it, really.
Thank you.
If I had tried that, man, I don't know if it went the same way.
No, you could do it. You could do it.
You know what I'm saying? We have a grace for the calling on our life, and I'm confident in the grace that He's given me.
I know that the Lord is preparing me for great things I have yet to see. But on days when it's hard to believe, increase my faith.
When you give, smiles grow bigger. When you care, homes are happier. When you comfort, the hurt goes away. When we all come together to love, miracles happen.
Hello, I'm Terry Newsom. Did you know there are more than 148 million orphans in the world today? 148 million. But it was 3 little girls that taught me about the plight of orphans. My husband and I spent nearly a month immersed in the daily activities of a Ukrainian orphanage as we waited to adopt 3 sisters. I saw firsthand the utter loneliness, the pain of rejection, and the overwhelming desire to be loved. That experience changed me forever. And out of it grew a ministry from my heart called Orphans Promise. Today, we're helping orphans and vulnerable children in more than 50 countries worldwide. Thousands of children are now in safe homes. They're being educated, and they're learning life skills. I'm asking you to join with me and become family to these children. Will you call the number on your screen right now? Because every child deserves a chance to be happy.
Hello? Is this thing on? Hey, kids, do you love games? And do you love discovering things? Well, do ya?
Then you're gonna love this. It's the new free Superbook Kids Bible app. You can play games, watch videos, find answers to your questions, and a whole lot more. The new Superbook Kids Bible app. Free downloads available on iTunes and Google Play now.
Texas megachurch pastor Matt Chandler is challenging Christians across the country to give up food for Lent. In a recent sermon, Chandler pointed out that Lent historically and traditionally involves believers fasting from food for the 6-week period that leads up to Easter. Chandler said abstaining from food was an external display, that they believe there is a greater pleasure to be known and a greater joy to be had, and said giving up food is to orient their hearts around the betterness of Jesus above earthly pleasures. Chandler said not all food, but encouraged Christians to consider giving up at least one meal every day. He encouraged believers to spend that time in which you would have prepared food or eaten food to pray or spend time with the Lord. Well, that's it for this edition of News Watch. You can find more on the issues you care about most at cbnnews.com. Also watch CBN News programs anytime on our CBN News channel. Plus, tell us what you think about the stories you've seen here, and you can do that by emailing newswatch@cbn.com or talk to us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hope you'll join us next time. Have a great day.